of our acquisition area. We are following the best practice of 10 other, we're actually the 10th agency to reorganize under the Chief Financial Officer so that the Internal Control Department will then be aligned with the Procurement Department. And those expertise in internal control will provide better oversight to procurement. We operate our procurement operation out of our Denver finance, we operate our finance operation out of our Denver Finance Center, and we will be moving our procurement operation to be under that with new procedures.
What about personnel?
We have really important, terrific people in this area at the SBA, and change is very difficult.
Well, in the Inspector General's report particularly addressed the issue of the inadequacy of the SBA Acquisition Office in terms of failed to adequately staff the office that was doing procurement work for the Recovery Act.
Yes, and this is one of the reasons for the move to Denver, where we have a pool of very strong personnel. We are going to offer all of our, it's up to 10 people in this area, the ability to move to Denver and support them. And if they don't move, I just want to reiterate that we're going to take care of them here.
My concern is this is to implement those provisions of the Recovery Act will require the expertise and the staff. And 9 months ago, you learned from the IG that you were not in compliance with the OMB requirements regarding the staff. So you're telling me that this week you're moving to do this.
We have been working on this, as you say, for quite a long time. There has been extensive review of what the best practices are to get the right staff, whether that staffing would be available here, how to change the procedures and the supervision so that we have the quality of supervision, and this is the solution that we are pursuing.
For more than a decade, there have been inaccuracies in federal small business contracting data. And when you and we have a first meeting, that is one of the issues that I raised with you. A recent IG report found that SBA's own data had an error rate of 92% for FY 2008, 97% in 2009. In many cases, SBA was misreporting small business contracts that actually went to large businesses. Do these findings call into question the agency's credibility and ability to monitor government-wide reporting problems?
Your point is exactly correct. This is extremely disturbing and is unacceptable. We have to be the standard for the rest of the agencies.
So, Ms. Gustafson, has the agency implemented any of the IG's recommendations yet on this area?
Representative Velazquez, they have committed to implementing those recommendations. In all candor, the audit is a couple months old. I'm not certain that they have been finally implemented. I will get that answer back to you. I'll check on that and get that answer back to you.
Administrator Mills, can we get a timeline?
Yes, ma'am.
When the agencies plan to implement those?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Last month, this committee was working to secure documents from the SBA's Office of Inspector General related to an active audit. During that process, the SBA General Counsel interjected herself in the matter, actually calling the House General Counsel. Was this done at your direction or at the direction of your staff?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was not done.
It was at the direction of who?
I don't have any direction about this effort.
Do you think that was an appropriate action?
My understanding of the situation is that we will try to be helpful in any case that we could.
Ms. Gustafson, should it be a source of concerns if the SBA's General Counsel has taken it upon herself to act as an intermediary between this committee and the IG in matters pertaining to agency oversight.
Madam Chairwoman, there's no question that the agency's general counsel does not act for me. Being very involved in the IG Reform Act of 2008, one of the things that act did was very specifically state that the IG is to have her own counsel, or his own counsel. And I have my own counsel. And so to your exact question, which is it appropriate, would it be appropriate for an agency general counsel to act on my behalf, I would say no. That's not appropriate. And
Administrator Mills, I hope that in the future, your general counsel refrain from interjecting herself into matters that are related to the Inspector General and the work, the oversight work of this committee. This is to the IG. The findings of your report on the PCL program paint a picture of lax SBA oversight and deficient internal controls. Given what you have found in your report, if Congress were to undertake a major expansion of the CDC program, could the agency effectively administer the program?
I think that what I think the message of the report needs to be is not that it can't undertake effective oversight of the CDC program, but that we are concerned with how that oversight has been undertaken so far. SBA has the ability to set forth guidelines for the CDCs to eliminate or reduce the possibility of some of the underwriting concerns that we really had. SBA does on-site reviews where they look at these type of issues, and one of the things that our report says is there needs to be a tie back. They need to go back and see if CDCs are doing better when they find these issues. We didn't really find that here. So I wouldn't say that it's a question that it couldn't be done.
Can they do it today?
They would have to devote more resources than they're devoting now.
The PCL lender program was intended to reduce SBA costs by delegating authority for CDCs to process, close, service, and liquidate loans. In other words, PCLs were thought to be the most qualified to effectively administer this program with minimal SBA involvement. In light of your report on the program, does it appear the PCL program is meeting the intended goals?
I really hesitate to paint a broad brush over the entire program based on this audit. We looked at 3 of the larger PCL lenders. And again, I don't think that this audit should be taken to mean that they cannot do that. I just think that there's smaller oversight and there's lax oversight. And again, I think the emphasis needs to be that there needs to be stronger oversight.
Thank you. Mr. Grave.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks, Administrator, for being here.